Welcome back to Nerd Cabal, the hidden circle where bootlegs are sacred text, and pop culture's secret canon is laid bare. We gather to interpret the forbidden scriptures with questionable significance, but absolute conviction. Open your contraband hymnal and let the ritual commence. Welcome back to Nerd Cabal. We're doing our second discussion about Wizard People, Dear Reader. I'm here with EnviroBoy, my co-host.
Hi.
Our other co-host, Newsman Boyer, was not able to make it tonight. Breaking news.
He's all really cool
away.
with like a real important job and stuff. He doesn't get to just spend his life doing fun, silly things like I do.
The newsman portion of his handle pulled him away for, unmitigated circumstances. But in any case, we will be proceeding with this session without him, and hopefully he'll be back soon.
Who even has a successful career anyway? Gross.
Well, yeah. I prefer to have an.
Says
I prefer
one
to have
career
an
man to another career man.
Yes. I prefer to have an unsuccessful career that doesn't distract me from the important things in life.
I find that the lower I keep my expectations, the lower I keep everyone else's expectations of me in life, the easier it is to meet or exceed them.
Absolutely. So we had just finished chapter 6 of Wizard People, Dear Reader, and now we're on to chapter 7, which is titled "Brandish This." And just as a little reminder,
good title.
Brandish This. Harry and Hagar just finished cleaning out his vault of gold, and Hagar picked up the gunny sack, the mysterious gunny sack that was holding something mysterious in it. And
what else
now,
nice stuff does he have?
What else does he have? He ponders. This is between you, me, and the little Patty McGross-out. Okay,
Patty McGross-out.
That's one of my favorites. Okay, but on to chapter 7. Brandish This. I've got some great clips lined up, and in fact, EnviroBoy, I've been meaning to tell you, it's hard for me to limit what clips I'm going to do because the lines
play the whole movie, right?
That's what I'm worried about this becoming. It would become less and less about discussion and more about us just laughing at the movie and recording it. And I don't want it to be that.
I'm
although that would
we
be fun
avoided
too.
it on the first one. Frankly, the first one I was expecting that to be about the sum of it, but we did a pretty
the
good
whole
job.
Fucking thing,
and we might have set the bar a little too high for ourselves.
Yeah, for an intellectual discussion. So, moving on. Back on the shopping tour, and Harry needs a wand. We'll go on up in Ed Vander's. I've got a few things to attend. I've got to attend to a few other details, and I'll meet you there later, says Hagar. Now, first off, another substitution of a name, Ed Vander's, which to me is kind of like the Midwest waspy version of Ollivander. I just really enjoy that name.
To me, it always sounds like just some dude with like a vacuum shop in like a Midwestern town that's about a decade and a half behind the rest of the world, like, or a mattress shop. Like, well, come on down to Ed Vander's refrigerators and stovetops. We've got all the greatest ones. We've got GE, we've got HP, we've got all the great stuff. That's what it sounds like to me.
We've got mattresses flying off the shelves at Ed Vander's. Yeah. You're not going to find a better deal than at Ed Vander's.
You'll never find a better deal. We'll take your old mattress off your hands too. Give you a 7% discount.
Yeah, that's exactly right. A funny little substitution. So Harry enters Ed Vander's Wand Emporium. The shop is full to the ceiling with wands.
I want to write a jingle about Ed Vander's Wand Emporium.
That would.
It sounds like
Ed
it needs
Vander's
a jingle.
Wand Emporium.
All your wand needs are met here.
Which one to brandish? Which one to call my psyche's extension? So Harry like calls out looking for Ed Vander's, and we get to the first lines where Brad is just absolutely dunking on Ed Vander's looks. I'm trying to remember the actor that played Ollivander.
Oh, I'm so bad at remembering actor and actress names.
He's a very prolific like English actor. I don't think he's still alive if I recall. You know what? I'm gonna have to edit this stuff in. Jamie, look this up for me.
Jamie, pull that up. Jamie, pull that.
Yep.
Jamie, is that real? Is that real? Is that a real actor? Is he a real person? I don't think he's a real person. Is he a real person? He's a real person. That's my impression of Joe Rogan. He doesn't actually know anything and then is always surprised when Jamie informs him of anything. He'd be like, bananas. Are bananas a fruit? Jamie, pull that up. Is a banana fruit? Wow, a banana's a fruit. Wow.
I don't believe that they're actually real. Yeah, when he has Jordan Pearson on as a guest, I believe the bananas are just a creation of modern liberal society. They're not actually real.
Do you know that actually in nature they don't actually grow? Wow, is that real? Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah, exactly. It's John Hurt, by the way. But Harry irks out a few husky hellos. Hello, hello, hello. But jeepers! Ed Vanders rushes into Harry's view like a scarecrow's carcass, a dreadful visage indeed, and a ghastly voice. Harry Potter, welcome. Yeah, very great introductory description there.
I love when he adds like the slight voice acting twist to some of them, because he doesn't go like full bore into the voice acting. He just adds like a little bit of something to his voice.
I know, but they're really good. Like when he does like the voice of Dumbledore, it's very understated. And it still pretty much sounds like his regular narration voice, but it just adds a little extra.
I feel like
something.
You could almost do just like a profession study on like the concept of successful voice acting through subtlety. Like there's got to be entire classes on exactly that.
Yeah, alongside the classes of getting underpaid and overusing your voice and needing surgery for it.
Yeah.
But I digress. Master H is beginning to feel animosity towards his own celebrity. Harry gazes at the man's skin, a ketchup-y callus of a face.
That's such a gross term.
Really visceral descriptions there.
Yeah.
Very
that's one of the ones that genuinely makes me uncomfortable. Like ketchup-y callus. Because I just immediately think of like that nasty rubbery dried up ketchup nozzle that ends up on like when you open up the little flip top. And it's
the ketchup membrane.
Immediately.
Ketchup membrane.
Yeah, it's so gross, and it's like thinking about that, like, because then it extends to me imagining that getting on my face, and it just makes me go ew, 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 ew.
Yeah, ketchup membrane is a close relative of soup skin, another foul invention.
Yeah, yep, no doubt.
So, of course, they're going through the motions in this scene. Harry looking for a wand that's going to work for him. Ed Vanders produces a wand that he thinks is suitable, but Harry totally frigs up half the store with that wily stag of a twig. And then some more good voice acting from Brad here. I don't have a clip of it, but his stockpiles of nuclear level energy will be funny and tricky to funnel, thinks Ed Vanders. More further alluding to Harry just being a demigod, a super powerful being, like something on a whole nother level.
That like the only limitation holding him back is his general disinterest in alcoholism.
It's so funny. There's so many parallels to One Punch Man, which is season 1 anyway. I really enjoy.
Yeah.
But Vanders is tenacious. He pokes around in stacks of wand boxes for round 2. A bigger wand, he thinks, will be more suitable. But Harry, now bored and tired, brandishes again. But kabloomers!
Destruction! I say that. I quote that out loud at least once a week, and no one ever knows what on earth I am talking about.
They just look at you like you're fucking crazy, right?
Yeah, like if like the best reaction I get is people are like, that's funny, thinking that I did something. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like I am quoting one of the best pieces of media ever produced, and no one understands. It's upsetting.
Well, I understand.
Thank you.
And
you're the only one who gets me.
No judgment. No judgment here.
Vanders with a why didn't I think of it before? Look, the look that everyone's dad puts on when he's trying to pick out shoes and clothes for their kid, even though they have thought of this store from the beginning. In fact, they just want to draw out the afternoon with needless driving around and tryings on because they don't know what else to do with their kids. Well, Vanders puts on that kind of a look, and the music galore fills the shop.
Yeah, I love some of those lines. just kind of like fucking completely veering off into left field with
Well, and like that one in particular
unrelated
is like
descriptions.
that one's so like it feels too real. It's like that feels too specific to be anything but personal experience.
Oh, definitely. Somebody's probably it sounds like Brad's father didn't know what kind of activities to do with him, didn't know
Right.
how to have fun with his kid.
Well,
Jeez,
it's like
too
how many
heavy.
people watching this look at that and they're like, oh, that's too real. Oh no.
Yeah, yeah. Little too close to home. I can't relate. I had a happy childhood,
I know,
unlike
right?
most podcasters.
I was gonna say it's something that becomes more and more starkly clear to me every year I'm alive, like just how fortunate I am. And I'm like, man, I really dodged a lot of life bullets, man, just by being born where and when I was. My
Oh, you
lord.
never know. You could be a senator or the president if you had like a completely maladaptive upbringing with a
I
warped view
I
of the
was gonna
world.
say I could never be a successful politician. I'm not nearly enough of a dick.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Um, So Vanders, he stands in front of Harry like some freaking Amadeus. He is no doubt imagining our Harry as his orchestra, and Vanders is just flabbergasted at how good of a choice he has made. He starts to whisper like a thespian in a particularly juicy role.
A particularly juicy role.
This wand's brother is the wand of that scar maker, the guy who gave you your famous scar. Harry almost dookies a shooter, but controls himself. Harry is sick of whispery games, and he says normally, "What is this scar maker's name?" Ed Vanders all but holds up a skull and soliloquies. Oh, we don't say his name. But know this, he is a badass. He can kill anyone, anything, a gorilla or a bear, whatever, anything. Anything but you.
It's a long clip, but I was like, I need to give this whole clip. It's so
You
good.
could
Just
kill anything, a
juicy.
gorilla or a bear or whatever. That is such like a bro himbo thing to think and say. He could kill anything, a gorilla or a bear.
I know it's regressing. It's really regressing from the grandiose, like Shakespearean
Right.
dialect, and then reverting into like a very lowbrow, like common style of English,
That that
which is
dichotomy
great.
is
I
such
really
a
enjoy it.
key. Like he does that so much. That's such a key to how hilarious the whole thing is, because like he really does nail that sort of that adjustment, the random swapping between, so at some points, like we were talking last time, just like using this beautiful, eloquent prose, and then other times, and then suddenly out of nowhere, they almost Dookie's a shooter.
Almost Dookie's a shooter. I say that I use that phrase all the time too, but
Oh, it's so good.
yeah, I mean nobody knows
Again,
what I'm
such a
talking about.
visceral one, because that one I don't need to explain. We all know what that one's all
I know
about.
exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah, we've all been there at some point in our lives. Usually the morning after a great party of some sort.
Now most of the name changes and stuff that Brad makes are just supposed to be funny, but actually like calling Voldemort the Scar Maker, it's
Right?
actually very like foreboding, very
Yeah.
sinister, very mysterious and
I'm
creepy.
almost It's the
Like
type of
this is
thing
a
that
good
almost makes
name.
me it almost makes me angry that he's already done that, because now I feel like I couldn't use a title like that, like if I'm doing a writing project, working on a book or something. But that is like such a good sinister title for a villain. Like
The
but
Scar
now it's
Maker.
used and I'm like, I can't use it. And like this is what it's used on. It's like there's something like almost depressing that a man could be so brilliant in the ways of comedy that he can use a title like that for the sake of a joke more effectively than I could use it in any serious capacity.
Well, this guy's got. I mean, he's got talent, man. I mean,
Yeah, he does.
he does. He does.
As evidenced by the
Um,
fact that the dude has a lot of very large work with like large studios working on large projects.
yeah, he's got talent.
Yeah.
Ed Vander's wasteland of a face crowds in close. And then a disclaimer: his monologue is stinky. You are in a great position. You are an army of wizards, Mr. Potter. Use yourself wisely. His breath cascades over Harry's unbreathing nose. How long must I go without an intake of air? Thinks our Harry. It is the only thought that consumes his brain. Great. And
Oh my
actually,
golly.
you can't see it because we're not playing video clips, but the way that Dan Radcliffe is kind of just looking straight forward does make it look like he's trying not to breathe. Maybe he was nervous during that scene.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's maybe it really is just a sign of how great the directorial efforts of that first movie were, like how subtly brilliant it all was.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was.
I'm positive.
Do you want to read the last line before we move on?
Oh, absolutely. Finally, breaking the mood, Hagar taps the window. Holy balls, he's bought the Turkish massage owl. Hurrah! That's another one I quote regularly.
Holy balls.
He bought the Turkish massage owl.
Hurrah!
Hurrah!
A victory for Upfish. Well, we're not there yet.
Whoa, spoilers.
Spoiler
Spoilers, my
alert.
friend.
Well, that's it for Brandish This, and then we move on to Chapter 8, which in the YouTube videos is titled Valmart's Club. This is a pretty short chapter. So
Yeah.
Hagar and Harry sit eating supper in a foggy, wine-spewed inn. The depression creeps into Harry again. His powers seem infinite, everyone loves and fears him, but he himself can't seem to find his place among them. He is outside of people, and the wine flows. I really enjoyed those lines. He is outside of people, and the wine flows. Once again, just referencing Harry as like a misanthropic alcoholic. Wonderful.
Right? It's so ridiculous. It's such an out there concept, but it's so hilarious.
So, in an effort to cheer Harry up, Hagar decides to tell him the tale of Harry's parents' death. And I'll play the clip.
Valmart is the name of the scar maker, he whispers. He is a wizard with uncanny powers. But this guy is so evil, as soon as he came out of the womb, he put a scar on his own forehead.
He is the scar maker, after all.
He put a scar on his own forehead. Now, I don't think it really occurred to me until I started looking at the name written down, but Valmart. It's just a permutation of Walmart. Valmart.
Yeah. Yep. That's actually, you know what, I don't know if I've like really strongly made that connection, but yeah, I mean, there's got to be some sort of commentary about like consumerism in there. It sounds like something Brad Neely would do.
I think I read somewhere that like in the wizarding universe, there's only supposed to be like a couple thousand wizards in Great Britain. So on the whole, really not that many.
I mean, like, whether it was intended or not, the way that Rowling writes it, and I think about this all the time, like, it is impossibly small. Like, she kind of mentions it a little bit. Like, I'm actually rereading the series, and I'm on book 5 right now, which is the whiniest of all of the books. But, like, they kind of touch on it at one point, but they kind of brush it off about, like, how incestuous the wizarding family trees are. Like, they're all related to each other. Their family trees are just wreaths. Like, it just purely goes in a circle. And like, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if that was like an intentional thing, or if it's one of those things that, like, with so many things that Our Dogs has done, where it's like after the fact she just kind of adds some clarity haphazardly because someone points out like an inconsistency or something. But like, it is wild how dysfunctionally small she made the wizarding world, for sure.
It would make sense. I mean, the wizards are sort of like this unseen, exceptionally powerful elite who kind of like live this, these wonderful lives like outside of the common man.
Yeah, there's these wonderful lives, yet they still don't even understand what like a video game is, which is absurd to me. Like, I never understood why the wizards would intentionally not use electricity. Like, I'd be using both. Are you kidding me? Like, it'd be sick. Like, I wouldn't need a Game Shark for my video games. That's for gosh darn sure. But I'd still be like, getting the full Pokedex completed and all that crap.
Now you got Arthur Weasley's car. He gets the best of both worlds, man. He's
he
collecting
does.
Muggle artifacts and enchanting them. He's having a good time with
I
it.
say, dude gets it. Like he understands.
He gets it. Well, moving on. Well, Valmart went to Hogwarts and started the Dark Side Club. It was actually the coolest club to be in at the time. Everyone got a kick of being in a club that stories were told about. That's all anybody does anything for anyway. The sake of a story to be made of them.
Save a story to be made of him.
Yeah, I wonder if the creator of this in question joined a lot of school clubs, not really wanting to be involved.
Right, yeah, that's another one of
I
those
can
lines
relate
that
to
sounds
that
like it
shit.
might have been very informed by personal experience, or it could be almost the opposite too. It could be a cynical take on someone who felt left out by a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah, it could be. Anyway, I kind of feel this line thinking about like all the clubs and organizations I had to be in high school for like the sake of building up a resume for college, stuff that I had
Yeah.
no interest in.
Yeah, that's fair. For me, it was in college that I was doing that, like all the different honors programs and stuff that I was doing, so that I could make it into like a grad school. And then, afterwards, I get into grad school, so it's like I guess it served its purpose. But I get into grad school, get my graduate degree, and now I'm at a point where I'm like, yeah, that helped me get a higher paycheck when I started. And then otherwise, like, how much do I use it? Depends on the day.
Yeah, basically nil.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can be sure that Valmart earned his share of stories. The club got strict. You had to love evil and not be shy about using murder spells, or else you'd be murdered. And your parents were some of the people that decided to not kill for fun. Stumbled over my words there. So Valmart went to their house and killed them. And while he was there, he tried to kill you, but the spell ricocheted off your head and hit him instead. And now, why don't you read the next part? This is one of my favorites. It's just word salad and stumbling.
Let's see. Said, now no one knows if he's dead or hiding as someone dead. But what's for sure is that he hates you for not dying. And it's sure that if he is alive, he'll try to finish off the job, probably when you are sleeping, and he'll probably look like someone you love just to make it worse when he murders you. So, be on the lookout for that, and, be careful when someone loves you. Gulp, says Harry. Be careful when someone loves you. Don't mind me, I'm opening up a soda. It's not a beer.
No, not a problem. I'm going to be opening up a beer pretty soon.
Even if it was a beer, who cares? Like, it's whatever. I'm allowed to do it. I'm at home.
It's a free country. I don't live in Saudi Arabia.
I thought this was America.
Hey, I didn't hear no bell. Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for that.
So be on the lookout for that. Watch
be
out
careful when someone loves you.
I feel like
that is ridiculous.
It's such a weird, it's just such a weird dichotomy, because it's like the context of that line being spoken in this is absurd, but then there's like almost something poetic or prophetic about that line. Like I bet you there are many cynical people who would be all like, yeah, watch out if someone says they love you, and then like takes a heavy throwback of whiskey.
Yeah, the kind of people who would be saying that are the same kinds of people who hated their fathers, sit in like leather chairs and suck on cigars while talking about how women can't be trusted.
Yeah, and like don't understand why their wife doesn't like them, and then proceed to go home and like shout at them over nothing. Yeah, that's that
pretty much
the
entire cast of characters from Mad Men, I would think. So that brings us to chapter 9, which is titled Whooshers. Silliness. Whooshers. Whilst walking to the train station, Harry begins to feel the stomach butterflies accumulate. Hagar is then just stunned by the time of day. He must get that gunny sack to Dumbledore. So he gives Harry his train ticket and then just totally freaking disappears on him.
That line feels like one of the ones where like almost he didn't have a plan for what to say there. He just kind of was like going, and almost like the narrator himself was surprised by what is happening on the screen. Like you talk about where it kind of like bounces between the like it being an unreliable narrator, and like it bounces between him either being omniscient or not having a clue what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Harry then thinks
totally
to himself,
disappears.
Just totally freaking disappears on him. What the hell is meant by platform 9 3/4? Platforms aren't broken up that way. Willikers.
Willikers. I love that. Willikers is part of my vernacular these days. Unironically, I say it all the time.
Well, one of my favorite lines is coming up in this chapter, but we'll get to it. Harry feels dreadfully alone at this point, but then again, in a way, it is a thrilling sensation. Here he is, a young lad making his way in the world today. The stacks of gold coins in his pockets ease his worry. Okay.
Were it not the same case for me, I think about that every time I drive by that big lit up billboard that shows me what the lottery jackpots are. I'm like, man, oh man, there's a lot of things would be a heck of a lot easier if I could just pocket a cool, like, even if I only take home like 20% of it, 20% of 100 million. Yeah, I'll take that. That's pretty.
Yeah, I think somebody just won the lottery in Canada, and they elected to, instead of taking the jackpot, I think they elected to get like $1,000 a week or a month for life.
Yeah, they went for like the weekly annuity or something like that. I feel like I saw a Reddit post where like all of these probably 14-year-olds were arguing about whether or not that was a good choice or not. And I'm like, either way, it's more money than I'll ever have, so I'm not going to begrudge her choice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she had a good reason to do that. Okay. Yeah. Next clip. One of my favorites. I mean, they're all one of my favorites. I keep saying that. I was going to say, yeah,
it's a redundant statement at this point, but I understand.
Here we go.
Harry makes his way up to interrupting a station man, only because he is afraid he might miss his train. Excuse me, where's platform 9 3/4? Fudge off, you fuck, says the horrible man.
Fudge off.
This is one of those lines that is said pretty well in tandem with like what the actor is doing on screen. So it kind of looks like he really is saying, it could be saying fudge off, you fuck, almost like bad lip reading.
Right, and he times it so well, like, because this is one of those examples too where it's like the value of understanding it a little bit and knowing the cues about, like, back in the old times when you had to do, like, you just had the separate audio file playing from your laptop speakers, or you had the DVD going or something. Because if you didn't have it lined up, it was still funny, but it hits just so well if you get the lineup perfect.
Yes, in fact, this is one of like the keystone scenes where when I'm trying to line up the audio, I check here to see if it was lined up well. Don't have to do that anymore.
There's this one. There's another one later on during the Halloween feast scene that I use that, like, it works so perfectly if you get it just right. And like, yeah, but yeah, that's like part of the old school experience with this, is like knowing sort of like as you're watching it, knowing what those little benchmarks are so that you can kind of adjust as needed while you go. Cause that's like a key part of it. Cause the original audio too, and like it even like is self-aware about this in the recording, but the original audio was in like 2 parts because the file was too big for anyone's bandwidth back in those days. So like you had to download a couple parts, and so you would have to like start up again and resync. So like having these benchmarks like that was such an important part of it.
Oh yeah. So this is one of them. Why don't you
read
like
that there's something interesting, like not to digress too much here, but like there's something interesting about sort of like it's almost like a lost component of culture in a way, that very concept of having to sync things up. Because like nowadays it's so easy to just sort of edit a file and put things together, so that it's just kind of like always ready to go exactly the way it is. And like it didn't always used to be like that. And in fact, sometimes that was for the best. It's like which was, isn't it Dark Side of the Moon?
Yes.
If you put that with Wizard of Oz, am I remembering that properly?
Yep.
That
correct.
Like it basically makes a beautiful soundtrack to it. And it's like, but like those types of things where it's like you take 2 separate medias and like manually put them together. I feel like I don't want to be too like back in the good old days about things, but it's like there's a very specific type of experience with that type of stuff that just doesn't really exist nowadays. And I don't know if it's necessarily too bad that it's gone, but it's definitely something that, like, I have nostalgia for.
Are we on your YouTube channel right now? This sounds a lot like some of your nostalgia that we're talking. I agree. 100%.
No, you just made the mistake of inviting me onto your channel and I'm hijacking it.
No. Our channel.
Our channel. That's right.
Communism intensifies.
Yes, yes. It was yeah, the
No, I know.
orchestral like chanting begins.
Okay, I've got a perfect clip now. I know exactly what you're saying though. There's like a janky charm to old media. Like,
Yeah.
shitty glitchy video games in the past,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
crackly staticky movies from VHS tapes in the 90s.
Yeah.
There's some charm to them that you don't
I
have with modern media.
yeah, I feel like a lot of it is just it almost feels more relaxing, right? Because it's like knowing that there's going to be those flaws just takes so much pressure off of things. Like I think about someone trying to make a video for YouTube today, even like not just like ignoring even the concept that I'm doing it, just like some kid trying to like make a video, right? Like things are so polished nowadays because of the technologies available that it's so easy to psych yourself out and not post it. But then like back in the day, like when YouTube first started, like nothing was polished. It was all people's crappy home videos that were like 7 volumes of pixelated because they had to transfer it from like an old cassette camcorder onto a CD, onto their floppy drives, onto their
Oh yeah, they were
CDs.
garbage. They were total
Yeah, and
garbage.
it's
And
like
now modern stuff
there's
is
something.
Hollywood productions.
Yeah, and like there's something I feel like there's almost like a component of culture that's lost to that. And like I don't know, like I said, I didn't mean to derail things too hard here, but just like thinking about the original experience of these movies, these films when you had to manage that type of stuff or like accept that things might be a little off and you could still enjoy it. Like I don't know, it's one of those types of experiences that like I say, I don't want to be like oh kids don't they don't get a real life experience because culture is constantly changing and different things are important to different generations for different reasons, but like I get real nostalgic for that and I wish that there was some like modern organic equivalent to that sometimes.
No, I don't. I understand exactly what you're saying, and really, that was like the intention of this
Yeah,
podcast is,
of doing
you
this
know,
whole thing.
the idea of like kind of lost underground or like really obscure concepts in pop media. Stuff,
Yeah,
the janky weird shit. That's what that's
yeah,
what we enjoy.
yeah.
I
Oh, I
mean,
love it.
the version of Dear Reader that you and I recently watched, you saw it. It's exceptionally well polished, and
Yeah.
I'm very proud of like how
Yeah, and
polished
that's
it
the thing
was.
too is
But
like I don't want to say it's worse because even like ignoring
it is
the
different.
like yeah like not even like because besides the hard work like there is something pleasant about watching a polished version of things or playing a game that doesn't have glitches and just always works, like there's it's its own pleasant experience, but like there's it with the right mindset you can enjoy the crapsicles that exist out there, and it's sad that we don't have that contrast to the modern day polish of everything.
Well, I mean, modern AAA video games are certainly giving that a run for its money,
Yeah.
shipping like
Yeah.
unplayable garbage on day one with like massive day one patches.
Yeah, it's weird. They have almost taken it to the extreme where it's like they ship out games that are so garbage, but then they just patch them every day for months and months. So it's like every time I boot up Hogwarts Legacy or something like that, like I have to wait a half hour to play the darn game because it's like, oh, updating. We've got 7 gigs of updates. It's like, isn't this game done yet? What are you doing?
But then they look at us and they say, "Hey, you said you liked the jank."
Right? And I say it's like, well, you're misunderstanding. You're misrepresenting exactly the spirit of what we're talking about. This is why I can't talk to people like you.
Yeah.
It's
All
a
right.
conversation
Well,
I have regularly. Developers are calling me for my opinions.
of course they are. Hire me. All right.
Alrighty. Anyway, sorry.
Hire
That
fans.
was a huge digression there, but
Yeah, we're off in left field now. That's okay. Why don't you read it? Why don't you read the next couple of lines?
yeah. All right. But thank God for the Irish. Harry overhears the red-headed mother of a red-headed herd of children speak wizardly, and he knows he's in luck. Follow them, Harry, Harry says to himself. Follow them or die. But watching them from a distance, Harry sees one boy, cart of luggage and all, disappear right into the brick wall between the 9th and 10th platform. Holy balls, I'm not doing that, he thinks. Willikers!
Williker's coming up again, and holy balls! And there's one line here that I really enjoy, and the way that Brad says it. In fact, you know what? I think I'm just going to bring it up
Yeah, dude,
right
can you
now
pull up
because
the clip? We're like right
yeah,
there.
the way that he says it is so peculiar by comparison.
Follow them, Harry. Harry says to himself, follow them or die.
It's almost like Brad is realizing when he's saying Harry says, he's like saying, well, who is he saying it to? Oh, he's not saying it to anybody. Well, he says it to himself,
To himself.
I guess.
Yeah, like again with the whole
contradiction in there.
Yeah, and like again, speaking to like the hilarity that can come from a lack of polish. Sometimes a lack of polish is exactly what something needs. It's like the ad-libbed approach to it, you know. It's like and like something about that too is it's like it feels even more natural than like a stand-up comedy routine that's intended to sound entirely ad-lib. Like that's what most stand-up is they're trying to sound like they're just having a casual, hilarious conversation, and it feels more scripted than that. And somehow that just comes across as like just beautifully comedic.
Oh yeah, it's great. Some more kids whoosh through, yet another, and Harry's nerves begin to settle. So finally, he goes up to the mother and begs a lesson. Excuse me, Irish lady, can you show me how to do that? Wow, here in the presence of such an honest and loving family, Harry feels immediate, latent Helsinki syndrome withdrawals for the Pork Family Project. Helsinki syndrome. So I heard somebody else mention when discussing this that Helsinki syndrome is supposed to be the opposite of Stockholm syndrome. You know, Helsinki is in where is Helsinki? Is that in Finland? I think.
Oh, I could act like I have some sort of idea, but it's blanking. But I'm just going to be honest. I'm bad enough at world geography that I'm not sure.
I think it's in Finland. It's the capital of Finland. I couldn't remember.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm gonna edit that out and make myself
I'm willing
feel like
to
a
say
genius.
that I knew it was like one of them Scandinavian ones, but I'm a proper American, which means I don't pay attention to the world well enough. So
I'm gonna edit that out and just make it look like I'm a fucking genius right now.
You son of a bitch.
Helsinki is the capital of Finland, and so I guess it's supposed to. I'm not sure if Brad made it up here or if somebody else had made it up, but
I would say this is the only place I've ever heard that, so I could not say one way or another because like you know there's a lot of sayings that I've never heard before. So
I guess it's supposed to be like a a foil or a counter to Stockholm syndrome. But in any case, Stockholm syndrome wouldn't make sense for Harry. He hates his adoptive hates his adoptive family, and in this reality of Dear Reader, he can barely resist the urge to ignite them in a demonstrative fireball, ending the life of the three little pigs. So I don't think Stockholm syndrome would really apply.
Yeah, no, anyway. Just Stockholm would be a stretch at least.
I heard somebody mention that Helsinki syndrome is supposed to be the opposite, where the captives like resist their captors. But I don't know if there's any actual, you know.
I'm positive that Helsinki syndrome means something, and I'm also positive that there's some sort of psychological term for resisting your captors. But if those two line up and are the same, I am not professional enough to know.
It goes beyond me.
Yeah, I don't get paid enough to understand that, which is to say I don't get paid to understand that at all, so I'm not going to.
He quickly shakes off the latent Helsinki syndrome withdrawals, and the mother sweetly crimsons his bottom, and in Harry goes, like a reversal birth, into the negative plane of the brick wall, which stands ominously in front of him. He overcomes the obvious fears attached to this little test, and is on the correct platform. Ta-da! Ta-da! Ta-da forever.
Ta-da forever.
Well, bless my nippers, cries Harry. Bless them all day long.
That's the one that
all day long.
That's the line that I love to say the most. Bless my nippers.
Bless my nippers. I love how much of this sounds like it really does sound like like some American dude doing his best to do like a Charles Dickens style British like collection of slang in so many ways. Like bless my nippers sounds exactly like something that an American would think that a European would say.
Some little Oliver Twist motherfucker would say.
Yeah. So ridiculous.
So Harry sees the Hogwarts Express, and then he gets on, that brings us into chapter 10, which is titled The Bear and the Wretch.
The Bear
So
and the Wretch.
as the Hogwarts Express drags along the countryside, all the kids' hearts race in time with the engine. The scene is so beautiful that the landscape is literally peppered with painters working out masterpiece after masterpiece. Ronnie
And
the
just,
Weasel.
I want to
Oh,
just
sorry, go ahead.
interject one thing here, just to make sure it's clear, because this is our second episode, and I don't know, there's a certain degree of people logging in probably know what it is, but just a reminder to people, these beautiful narrations, this isn't like some sort of like stage direction. This is just him reading this as the movie is playing, like him saying all of these things. So it's like you just have to imagine some dude talking at you, explaining all of these things as you're visually seeing it. It's like it feels about the same as if you're at an art museum and some guy is standing there walking and talking at you and you're just trying to look at the art.
So Ron shows up, and it says Ronnie the Weasel shows up and makes his grand entrance to share the compartment with Harry. The proud lad remembers Harry from the platform and takes a seat. In the introductions, Ron is struck with a face almost sacred, and Rupert Grint, has this like absolutely astonished expression when Brad lines it up with this. It's pretty
Right?
funny.
Yeah. It's like
And
in line with him doing one of his like whoa that he's
Yep.
like trademark doing in the first two movies all the time.
all the time. Ron is mainly meant for comic relief in the first movie. It seems
100%. No, 100%. He is the jester of the movie.
he is struck with a face almost sacred when Harry introduces himself as the HP. The scar is called
HP.
into question. It is shown, and it is wicked.
And it is wicked.
So Ronnie the Weasel is another name change. Weasel rather than Weasley. The next name change is the food service wench. The food service wench appears. Ron, and listen carefully to this line because it's gold. Ron, obviously from a family whose money is spread thinly over a vast volume of loin product, cannot buy a thing.
It's one of those lines where like it's easy to pass over, but then when you think about it, you're like,
it's really gold though. Loin.
It's so good, but there's something visceral and uncomfortable about it to me.
It's a perfect term for children. What are they if not products from our loins?
It's everything they are. There's no doubt about that. I don't like thinking about it, but sometimes the truth hurts.
The ugly truth. But
the ugly, sticky truth.
So he can't buy anything. But the newly minted Monopoly champ, HP, flashes some coin, and the new friends celebrate over a pile of cakes and frogs and nipples of witchy Venus and rats and chuckle spells and fruit nuts, wizardly fodder. The same kind of junky food you and I would wallow our mouths on, were we in Harry and Ron's place. I really enjoy the descriptions in there. Scott, Enviroboy, do you know what nipples of Venus are?
I know what all of those words are individually, so I can kind of piece it together. But if you're telling me there's something like that refers to a specific thing, you've got me beat. I'm not sure.
It's a type of like fancy dessert, and I've never had it. I've never had it myself, but what I remember it from mostly is there's a chapter in the movie Amadeus, which is about Mozart and Salieri, which is specifically about that dessert, and they're eating those desserts in that scene. That's what I know.
I need to watch that movie again because I'm drawing a blank on that.
Yep, they're eating some of this during that time, so it's not just a weird fucking like name that he came up with. Like those are actual desserts that there's like recipes for.
People of the past were wild, man. Like they said it in prettier terms, so they got away with it. But man, like old timey folks were raunchy, man.
Yeah, nipples of Venus. Oh, why don't you say the next line? You enjoy this one.
Let's see here. Ron loves Twizzlers. They talk over the syllabus and what's to be demanded of them at Hogwarts.
Ron loves Twizzlers.
That happens like right as he's taking a huge bite of like a licorice wand, isn't it?
He's like he's pulling on it and pulling.
Yeah, he's gnawing at it like a hyena at a carcass.
Ronnie. Ronnie tells Harry that he is a pot of coffee by day, bottle of wine by night type of guy. Harry says, "Triple that, and you got me." I
So
I
good.
use this line a lot. I use this line a lot too because, I mean, not the bottle of wine, but I am a pot of coffee by day kind of guy. I
Oh,
drink a lot of coffee.
I was gonna say I used to be. I've tried to slow down in recent times, but man, I do love me some coffee. Like I've got a subscription to like one of the local roasters and everything, and every morning, like what I do is I try to make my one cup a bit more special for me for me and the partner by like I have a dice table. Like I have a chart and I roll the dice for it to see what kind of coffee drink I'm making. Is it espresso? Is it like a French press or whatever? Because I love coffee and I love all the different permutations of it. So I've
Bro,
redirected it from drinking entirely too much caffeine to just being entirely too snobby about it.
dude, do you have like a D20 of like what you're going to do for coffee that day?
1,000,000%, yes, I do. And not only is it just a D20 about what kind of coffee, because I have a collection of different sauces and syrups and stuff to go with it, and because I have a bunch of different beans that like are roasted to different ways, I also have like D4s and D8s to like roll and see what kind of flavors are or aren't being added to the coffee
Oh, that's a
at any
crazy
given
idea. That's
time.
awesome.
It's so fun. I've tried so many random things. Some of them are like really good hits, and other times you end up with something real nasty. Like the one time, I'm pretty sure I ended up with pumpkin spice and mint. That's not so great. That one's you can skip that one if you're
That sounds
curious.
vile.
Like I'm not gonna say I threw out the coffee because I needed my caffeine, but I wasn't enjoying every single sip of that one. I'll tell you what.
No, that doesn't sound good. So they
Yeah,
laugh,
no.
congenial laugh, and both of them realize they are instant friends, friends for life. Just as Ron is about to produce yellow pillows, a spell he has learned at home, pillows of gold, he and
Pills
Harry
of
are
gold.
he and Harry are interrupted by a horrible creature that is noisily and slowly making its way down the hall, and finally appears in the doorway. This is clearly one where he was just not caught up with where the movie
Yeah.
was at.
I was say he was off timing. He was just like waiting for it to happen. It's so good.
He was about to introduce Hermione, but then like realized she wasn't there yet.
It's just like it's so funny the way he says it too, because it's like are interrupted by a horrible creature that is noisily and
Noisily,
slowly
slowly.
making its way down the hall and finally appears in the doorway right as she
Yeah,
shows up.
we're not doing it justice. Just reading it
Yeah.
from the paper, but yeah, it's pretty funny.
So
Only
good.
on closer examination do Ronnie and HP realize that this thing is a girl looking for somebody's frog.
So
Her
horrible.
her hair seems to be made up of hair follicle sized serpents, a prepubescent Medusa. She demands that Ron finish his spell, but by mere proximity to such a wretched creature, Ron cannot concentrate and almost kills his rat instead of producing pillows of gold.
Those kills is right instead of
I
producing
don't.
pillows of gold, whatever that is.
Yeah, exactly. Um, what? Let's see. This moves on to the scene that I picked out for this time.
Do it.
Knowing that these boys obviously hate her filthy guts, she sits down and repairs Harry's glasses with a pretty cool spell. The boys have to admit that this creature posing as a humanoid has some chops.
So mean.
Definitely some chops indeed.
It's so
Definitely
mean.
has some chops. That
Poor
seems to be one of
Hermione.
Brad's favorite terms too. He loves to say the word chops. He uses it all
Yeah.
the time, or at
Yeah.
least twice.
So good. Poor
If I had a
Harmony.
nickel for every time that he said chops, I would have at least 2 nickels, which doesn't sound like much, but it's odd that he says it that much.
Oh lordy, that's such a good line, man. What a pure gold line that is. Like, good on you, Doofenshmirtz.
She intros herself as Harmony and begs Ronnie of his name, but he only growls and smacks in her direction, which is a wonderful descriptor because that's exactly what it looks like Ron is doing when
Yeah, he's like sitting there,
saying it.
yeah, he's like chewing like some sort of candy, like open mouthed and everything. It's so good.
Yep, speaking through a mouthful of food, flexing bits of candy and Twizzlers going right on Harmony's face, probably.
Oh lordy.
This
Poor
prompts
Harmony.
her to, yeah, Harmony the Wretch. Is the new name of Hermione. The Wretched Harmony or Harmony the Wretch, both are interchangeable and accepted terms. This prompts her to leave, and as a last-ditch effort to please, she informs Ronnie of his chocolatey nose, as if he did not know.
As if he did not know.
And that's the end of chapter 10. I'm gonna pause for a second. I'll edit this part out, but let me see how long we've been recording for. Oh, not that long. It's only been like 50 minutes. You want to keep going for a little longer, or do you want to call it quits?
Let's do at least one more chapter and see where that brings us to time wise. Let's try and at least get it to around hour.
Okay, that's good because
maybe a little more since you're going to edit some stuff down. So let's start with chapter 11, see how much we digress, and then we can go on to chapter 12 if we need to.
Sounds good. Okay, chapter 11 has a good title. It's called "Fuck Yes, Says Fate." Finally,
so good.
The moment of truth. The God wheel of fate has stopped for all these kiddies on yes. Yes, in fucking deed.
Yes,
you will be a wizard.
Fucking deed.
And this moment is the first series of moments that, no matter what the feelings these moments embody, yes is still the answer. Yes to life and yes to magic. Just look at their faces. Look at their auras. They are aglow. It's that intro is such a positive,
right?
It's such a positive like message. I just love it.
I would say there's something I really like the general like phrasing of like, and yes, and again yes, like just that the triumph of that. Like there's something like I almost want to do my best. Like you know, like they always talk about like positive framing of like your own circumstances and stuff like that. It's like I gotta remember that and like use that as like today's you know rosebud versus the thorns or whatever. You know, it's like, you know, find the good thing and be like, yes, the answer is still yes. Like what a positive way to look at life.
Yeah, manifest your success with yes.
Yeah.
Dear readers,
no doubt.
Imagine a music that describes a nocturnal, heavenly yes, as the children float on black still waters, boating up to the castle of Hogwarts School. Harry knows straight away that this will be a place where he shall surely brandish his wand valiantly. He knows in his heart that this is a stage where he will conjure and conquer the world with his ungodly charisma points.
Just downright calling him like an overpowered min-maxed D&D character.
Min-maxed, I love that. Yeah, I mean Brad is definitely a fucking nerd, just like we are. And I'm happy to be within that circle.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm so like some people get indignant and be all like, you know, when it becomes in vogue to like be a nerd and stuff like that. Some people get like indignant about it because of like, you know, the concept of posers. But frankly, right now, I'm just happy that I can express that I love D&D and not have people assume that I'm a Satanist too. Like this is a great turn for society, man.
You love D&D? I'm going to report you to the anti-Christian task force of Donald Trump.
No, don't. They won't baptize me and let me go to heaven. I'm going to hell right now. No, it burns.
So Harry trembles and steadies himself in the reassuring pasty presence of Ron the Bear. This moment of yes consumes our Harry. He feels here that this is that he is the thing of stories, and for this he nearly weeps, a frenzy of weeps. Yeah, it's pretty positive description there.
Right.
You want to read the next few lines?
Yeah. Let's see here. Yes, magic points. Okay, got it. The kids make a formation up to the school's entrance. They file up the main staircase and are met by none other than Professor Hardcastle McCormick, rasping her finger bones in withering patience as the children gather beneath her on the frontmost staircase. She speaks about the school and explains that the class here now will be divided into 4 different competitive schools.
Her voice is chilling, like a piano made of frozen Windex. Her eyes float like smears of fish scales on her candle wax stump of a head.
What the fuck does that even mean? Smears of fish scales.
I do actually really like though her voice is chilling like a piano made of frozen Windex. Like as ridiculous as that is, there is something like crystal clear descriptive about that. Like I can like envision exactly some sort of like audio file format or something, like some sort of like audio signature that would match that. Like when that's described, I'm like, yeah, no, there's like something exceptionally like high and brittle about that. Like I don't know, I really like that line,
I do
unironically.
too. The piano description is great. What I'm
Yeah.
saying, what the fuck do is
Oh
her
yeah.
eyes float like smears of fish scales on her candle wax stump of a head. I don't know what that means. Although I am looking right at Hardcastle McCormick in this scene right now, in like the scenes that I'm playing for the clips. And you know what? Candle wax stump is an apt description.
It's yeah. It's like it's one of those things where I'm like, I hate to say it about old Maggie, but like, yeah, it's kind of there. Just the way the lighting is hitting, it's exactly right.
There are some people that think that Brad is too critical of like female characters only, but I mean, I think that might just be like kind of an what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of an egalitarian, well-meaning, but kind of overly sensitive, like kind of liberal sensibility.
Yeah,
If I'm
that's
being
fair.
honest,
Like I think,
I think he dunks on everybody pretty
yeah, go
badly.
back and listen to everything said about Ed Vanders.
I know he dunks on everybody pretty equally. He
I
he
was
he
gonna say,
pulls
like
no
for me, it's
punches.
yeah, like it's for me, I would expand that to being like, if there's anything that I feel like he's a little too much of, is just like generally speaking, critical of people's appearances. Because it's like it's one thing to make fun of costuming, it's another thing to just flat out make fun of the way an actor or actress looks. Because it's like that's still just a real person,
Just crushing them. I mean,
right?
yeah, I guess I could be a little critical of that, but I would not say that he like specifically targets women in his
Yeah, I
interpretation.
think I
I
think the
think that is
closest.
I think that's way out of bounds.
Yeah, I think the closest to that is like just like how like horrible he is about Harmony the Wretch compared only because of how clearly like Ronnie the Bear and Harry are like painted to be the heroes, but at the same time Harry is also a raging alcoholic. So like, they've all got their things that he just kind of like slams them on and makes fun of children for.
And I mean, I can't pretend to know exactly what was going through Brad's head when he made this.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I mean, let's look at the present day. Emma Watson, Hermione's actress, well regarded to be like this exceptionally beautiful
Yeah.
actress. And she was a cute kid too when she
Oh
was
yeah.
young. It's
She
not
was
she
cute as a
wasn't
button in that
ugly.
movie.
She
Yeah,
was
I was
not
gonna say.
ugly at
I think
all.
I think that's the thing about it too. Is it's
I think
like,
he was trying to like deliberately flip it on its head.
yeah, I was gonna say most of it is just him taking like the obvious positive and then like flipping it to a negative for the sake of the humor and like go and like leaning into it. It's like it's a pretty classic. It's a pretty classic comedy approach to take something that's true and flip it on its head, but like speak it in an unironic way, so that way it feels like it's being said in earnestness.
Yes, I don't think that this is something like old timey boomer comedy of being like, oh,
Yeah,
women, right? Chicks, right? They
yeah,
suck. Big laugh. No, I don't
yeah,
think this is that.
yeah. No,
But
I don't. Certainly not with the same level of like ingrained malice that most of that humor would have.
I exactly. I don't feel that way at all.
Yeah.
Brad does dunk on people's looks quite a
Oh,
bit. I mean,
constantly.
you could say that that's insensitive, but I don't think that he's being sexist.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but moving on. Um, she goes on to describe the points of the system of points and demerits, house cup, etc. Snoozers. All the kids are too tired to listen.
Snoozers.
The professor drones on further about different alumni everyone should remember, but is interrupted by a child named Upfish, who suddenly finds his frog. A victory for Upfish,
A victory for Upfish.
but a staggering loss of control for Hardcastle. Another name change. So Neville's official name in this iteration is Upfish Sinclair, which is clearly supposed to be a reference to the author Upton Sinclair. Although
Right.
they never actually say his full name in this version. It is in the sequel, which I will talk about at a much later date.
Yeah.
But in the wiki that you can find about this, somehow he has been attributed to Upfish Sinclair. I don't know where that came from originally, but it is in the sequel. Hardcastle makes her exit, and then a dreadful kid with sunburned hair notices Harry somehow and calls him out in front of everybody. The murmurs begin, and I'd like you to read this next part, Enviro Boy.
Like a cowboy, he saunters up to get a closer look at our HP. He intros himself as Malfoil, and of course, Ronnie busts up at this. The rich little bastard starts throwing class trash about Ronnie the Bear's hard-earning family being poor and rabbit-like. Of course, he goes for the shame spell. Love that he turns it into a spell.
Yeah, this is another funny thing is that mundane acts and like mundane things get turned into spells. We got another one coming up in the next chapter.
Yeah. But HP gets Ronnie's back by issuing forth a comment or two so deft I cannot even start to reproduce them here. This trumping does wonders for Harry's initial cred here at Hogwarts.
He just scored some social points big time with that.
It's just like they say in prison: find the biggest guy and win a fight against him. I'm positive that's true, and not just something people who haven't been to prison say about prison.
Well, with chapter 11, I think we will leave it, and then we will go on to chapter 12, Fortune's Grind, with the next episode. And hopefully Newsman Boyer will be able to join us again. There's a great couple of chapters coming up, lots of new names and new characters that I'm excited to talk about. So thank you for listening. Nerd Cabal is hosted and produced by me, Cohesive Key, along with my co-hosts, Enviroboy and Newsman Boyer. You can contact me at cohesivekey@gmail.com. Ex locus interdictus sapientia. From forbidden places comes wisdom. Thank you for joining us in the shadows of pop culture. Until next time, keep searching the vaults.